Hi and welcome to this episode of JohnRayner.tv. Today I'd like to share with you about the power of the pause, or the power of pausing. You know, with the majority of communication evaluation, whether you're standing before a boardroom and talking in front of boardroom members, whether you're giving a public speech or a public address, whether you're giving any other typical business presentation, it's fascinating because most people, the majority of people, really lack in utilizing the power of the pause. And the reason being is very, very simple. Using the English language as a base, there's been sufficient research to show that with using the English language, the majority of people, whether it be male, female, young or old, they'll typically speak. And by the way, this is supposed to be the profile of a person. I've said in other videos, forgive my drawing skills. That's not my forte or my strength. But if this is supposed to be someone speaking, the majority of people speaking the English language will average about 110 to 120 words per minute. That's at a reasonable pace. However, there's a worldwide epidemic where people don't seem to use the pause simply because the brain, this is supposed to be the left and the right hemisphere of a brain, the brain is able to process, again I'm using the English language, the brain is able to process approximately 220 to 250 words per minute. What am I saying? It means that when you're put under pressure, when you're presenting, when you're speaking before a group, when you've got a public announcement, when put under pressure, the brain typically processes more, processes faster, and then here's where the epidemic kicks in. Our mouths typically want to catch up with what our brain is thinking. And so people will just ramble and ramble and ramble. How many times have you seen people in a situation where they're asked a question, or you can see they're under pressure, or maybe they're in a business environment and maybe the CEO or maybe an executive asked that person a question, a tough question, and instead of thinking, instead of pausing, instead of processing what to say before saying it, the mind's running at 100 miles an hour, or at least 220 words per minute, and then the mouth tries to catch up, and that's typically where people stumble and fall. So when you're in any given public speaking situation or verbal presentation situation, whatever situation you might find yourself in, especially when you feel that the mind or the brain is under pressure to say what you need to say or to answer the way you need to answer, why not just practice the power of the pause? It's a simple technique, but it's underutilized, but incredibly powerful when applied. I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of JohnRayner.tv. Ciao.